What's up, guys? Claydragon29 here again. So now we're going to take you through a deck that my friend actually uses, but I've kind of changed it to look a bit better, in my opinion. It's Dragunity's, basically with all the general loops, but what I've done is I've added in Assault Mode Activate, because I find Assault Stardust to be one of the strongest monsters in the game, just for its effect and the fact that it's very difficult to get rid of. And I just find that it's quite a handy card. But yeah, it just runs the general Dragunity plays. The only difference being that at the end of the play, if you don't actually get the OTK or the FTK, you have a Stardust Assault to go back on, which basically seals game for you. But I mean, in this first duel, I didn't really need it because I just had a killer hand. And I was able to basically just roll out Dragunity, and since he had no cover, and I mean I could have played into a Gauze, which could have been disastrous, but I was fortunate, I suppose. So it's really good with the release of a Tempest, Storm Incarnate Dragon, because he works as almost an extra Dragon Ravine with his effect, and it's just a really handy effect to use. So I'm going up against a Crystal Beast guy. I mean, I don't mind Crystal Beasts. I think they're a fun deck to use, but in the current meta, they are so slow it's not even funny. And so I really don't bother with them. So I'm wondering when this guy is going to... Okay, so he still has Torrential, but he decides to MST Phalanx, which is probably a good idea in the end. For some reason, I decided not to take out Vedriana and bring out Missiltion, but oh well, that's my mistake. Now I've got Dragon Vein. Might as well put it to good use. And I'm thinking, yep, here comes a nice little loop because I've got Missiltion and Red Eyes, but no, that won't work. So I figure I might as well, since I had a couple of just useless cards in my grave, bring out Tempest, just for fun. And then it's just fodder for my Ravine next turn if I need to. He's only got Amethyst Cat on his field, so I'm feeling good. So I draw Assault Mode Activate as well, which is perfect. So I drop Tempest, and I know that next turn he's going to be screwed anyway, because I'm going to be able to bring out a Stardust, and then I can go into Assault Mode even if this doesn't work. And that's why it's just a really handy kind of backup card to have, because if the loop doesn't work, a lot of guys find themselves quite vulnerable. But this guy's basically been defeated because he knows he's got 2 Dragon Queen of Tragic Endings. Even if he draws Dark Hole next turn, it's not really going to help him because I'm going to bring out Stardust or Stardust Assault Mode. So yeah, this still kind of shows more of the potential of what happens when you can pull off the Assault Modes. This is against an Exodia guy. I mean, all credit to him. I don't know what kind of deck he was running there when he's talking about Exodia. So Zephyros the Elite, great effect with Dragon Vein, because it means you can then recycle Dragon Vein twice, and by doing that you set up a Phalanx in your grave and a Ducks to your hand, so then you can basically start the loop, which basically just goes from Phalanx's effect that every time he is an equipped spell, you can special summon him to the field, so constantly just bringing out cards that way. So yeah, I go into a tomb, I make a mistake. Oh no, I don't make a mistake in this duel. I think it's another duel where I make a mistake. But anyway, I bring out Phalanx, and then go into Stardust. So Red Eyes now, might as well just bring back Vedriana, and then I can go Assault Boost into Assault Mode Activate. I go Starlight Road, just in case he's got a Heavy Storm coming or a Dark Hole. I can activate that, Saber Monsters. He sets 5 cards face down, and I know just he's probably running Exodia, because no other deck is going to set that many face downs. So then I go into a second Stardust, Assault Mode Activate one of my Stardusts into Assault Mode. So Assault Mode's effect basically is that anytime a card or effect is activated, I can tribute Stardust to negate it. But with all the cards it deactivates, I decide, you know what, I'm not even going to bother, so you can draw all those cards. Because I felt that I could go in with the OTK, but sadly I couldn't because he had Magical Cylinder, so I decided to just tribute and negate instead of taking my own 3000 damage. And then I just proceed to directly attack, and he ends it because he knows that even with his face downs, just Deserts I can deal with, Goblin Feet I can deal with, and I can just negate Boku next turn anyway. And next turn I've got another Assault Mode Activate into another Assault Mode Stardust. So I'm not saying it's the best version of Dragunity's. I am just saying that what it is a great kind of just fun deck to look at making. It's just really cool the way that it actually works, and just the combos that you can pull off and the cards you can bring out. I mean, to be honest, Stardust Assault mode in your hand is a dead draw, but that's why I sometimes run Assault Teleport, which means you can return it to your deck and then draw 2 more cards, which is really handy, especially if for draw power in a deck like this, which can be really important. But in this duel, I've done pretty well for myself against. I said he was a fish deck, but I don't even know I think he might be running Ancient Deep Sea Fish King Coelacanth, and his amazing OTK basic effect, which is just incredible and amazing. It's really OP because you can just absolutely annihilate it, but it is easy to stop, I do admit. But anyway, yeah, this guy is wide open. I've got enough attack points to basically attack the game here, and he realized it, so yeah. Finish off, we've got basically a Blue-Eyed Piper deck, which is actually one that's commonly used these days, and it's quite handy. But against my deck, I wasn't really afraid of it that much. I turned out to have a great hand anyway, so I decided to drop Assault Teleport. And right off the bat, I had Ducks, and I've got Red Eyes in my hand, which is super handy for pulling off all these loops that I'm going to do. So you're going to Stardust, got a Starlight Road face down, but I don't want to attack Maiden because I know that Maiden's going to be able to activate its effect. He has Black Luster Soldier, and I'm just thinking, okay, that's great. For some reason, doesn't activate his monster effect. Then I somehow am able to pull Starlight Road, and since he's used Black Luster Soldier's effect, I get starts my field, and then I pull another Ravine. I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to get rid of this guy? And I think I thought of Scrap Dragon because with his effect, I can just drop Ravine. He decides to safe zone his monster, which makes it even easier for me to do what I want to do because I can just go into Scrap Dragon, use Scrap Dragon's effect, drop Ravine, and then drop safe zone, which drops his BLS as well. And he basically admits defeat because he's got a Mystic Piper and a White Set of Legend. And next turn, I can basically just go with Red Eyes and then just continue loops and bring out Trident Dragon to end the duel anyway. So that was basically my Assault Dragunity deck. So it's just a different look at what you can do with the monsters. So I'll be posting a deck list hopefully within the next few days. So yeah, you can definitely check that out, and please subscribe to my channel. So this is Claydragon29 signing out.